talk about dreams and how I went ahead and followed my dreams and how I can, look within my examples and experiences to tell you guys how you should also go and get motivated and go ahead and follow your dreams. So I went back to my life and I said, what can I tell them to, really, really motivate them? I mean, honestly, it's been just a 2-year journey with my company. I'm not Steve Jobs, I'm not Bill Gates. I'm not people who you hear about every day. You hear about on your Facebook walls, your story will give you like 10 things Steve Jobs did and this and that. And you still are not motivated, right? So clearly, I cannot do that job for you. So I realized what you need to know actually is why are you not following your dreams? And today I'm going to tell you the 5 lies that you've been told all your lives to keep you away from following your dreams. You're hardwired. You're told this every now and then since you got up, got into this life. These 5 lies that will not let you follow your dreams, ever, if you still have them in your brains. So the first lie, your parents and teachers are always right. I hope the teachers are not here right now, even if they are, too bad. So parents and teachers have a huge influence on our lives. We almost trust them blindly, We think they are right, that's it. Now, while they are nice and while they want our best, obviously there's no agenda against us, right? But the 2 things that they take away from you when you're growing up is 1, a sense of equality, and 2, confidence. They just snatch it away from you. And I'm going to talk about it in 2 ways by giving you examples. So the first is your sense of equality. When you're born, when you're a baby inside, in a hospital, just born, do you know you're a boy or a girl? You don't know. Who tells you? You grow up, you start meeting your parents, your mom, your dad. They get the girl a doll, and they get the boy a toy car. They paint the girl's room in pink and the boy's room in blue, right? And as you grow up, there are certain types of things that they let boys do and let girls do. You go to your school, the sickest thing they do is make girls sit in a row and boys sit in another row. The children, for God's sake. And then you have your 0 periods and all that jazz, where boys are playing football, girls are playing Ringa Ringa Roses. And that's because that's what girls and boys do. You've been told to do that, right? So they put you in these 2 boxes, boy, girl. And inside these boxes, they tell you, boys can have a certain kind of career, girls can have certain types of careers, okay? Your dreams are gone that moment, because you were not even allowed to think. You were allowed to think according to your gender, okay? Now, so what do we see? Boys go to engineering colleges, mostly. I can see just very few girls. And girls go to arts colleges. And when we see a boy in a fashion institute, we're like, oh my God, what is he doing here? He's an anomaly. He's probably gay. In your head. And we're damn scared of women pilots, aren't we? Now, the second lie. Please settle down. Finish your college, get your first job, and get married, okay? So very interestingly, just yesterday, I'm putting up with a family friend, and I was just telling my aunt that, my company is doing really well, and, our valuations increased so much, and, this much is the revenue and profit. She looks at me, and the first thing she says, you won't be able to find a guy now. Instead of feeling good for me, she said, you're not going to get a boy now. And then I looked up into the dictionary. I said, what does this settle down mean? Okay? The dictionary meaning of settle down is to live an orderly life. What does that have to do with marriage? I can live an orderly life without marriage, okay? So then, while I was scrolling in that free dictionary that you find on Google, There was another aspect to settle, which was settle for, which said you accept something with incomplete satisfaction. Accepting something without really feeling satisfied. That is settle. So what essentially they're asking you to do is not settle down, they're asking you to settle for. Right out of your college, right after the first job, they don't want you to discover your potential. They don't. They just want you to settle for the next boy that passes by, the next girl that passes by, and if you achieve anything more than that you know, according to them you should achieve, you are unmarriageable. You're off the market. You're worth millions of dollars, you can't marry. Sorry. Okay. Now the next one. You can't pay your bills with that job. This is interesting. Recently I came across a study, one of the top universities, probably MIT or something, where they proved to economists that money does not motivate the human mind. And this is how they did it. They divided two groups of people. One were given physical type of labor, and one were given more creative and cognitive types of labor, okay? Both groups were told that if you perform better, then you will get more money. The higher the performance or the output of your labor, you will get more money. And interestingly, the group that was put into physical labor did perform well to get more money, but the group that required cognitive and creative abilities did not give two shits about money. They didn't perform well. What does this tell us? This tells us that money is not what our human mind seeks. It's fulfillment. It's a simple word, fulfillment. It can be in however ways, right? I mean, you play the guitar, you like, that's fulfillment for you. It is to each his own kind of fulfillment, but it's not money. Money is the means to that end, okay? And what this tells us is human beings get bored very easily, very easily. We need a challenge every day. We need career satisfaction. We don't seek money. We're questioning ourselves. We need career satisfaction. I gave up a job in McKinsey. I was offered to go and work for them in the US. The Indian dream of H-1B visa, when this idea came upon me, the crowdfunding idea. And it didn't take me even a minute to think about it. I didn't ask my parents. Why? There's nothing to ask. They obviously are, you know, the typical engineers in Lucknow forever, living there, very scared, oh my God. Our dreams of going and vacationing in the US are just shattered because our daughter doesn't want to go there. But no, I don't have to ask anything from you. I'm living for myself. You gave me birth, that's it. You're done. Stop it now. You didn't ask me to come into this world, right? Now, so I gave up the job. It was very easy for me to give it up. Very easy. Because my idea was the only motivator. So that's the other thing that I realized, that you probably are not getting out of your shell and going because your idea probably is not motivating you enough. That's all. I get asked this question a lot, which is, how hard is it to start up? Is it risky? What if you fall down? What if you fail? All these from students, by the way. And I just say one thing, you're blowing it up in your head like there's no tomorrow. It's an exaggeration, it's a hyperbole. If nothing happens, the job market is running parallelly in your life. You go join it again, man. Where is it going? You've done your education, you have a degree, people will give you jobs, and if in this day and age you don't get job, then dude, there's something wrong with you. You can do anything, any job, okay? Any job. So you do need to stop thinking, like give yourself 2 years. You go to, I mean, people take 2 years off for Hajj, man. Can't you give it to your idea? Right? You can. So stop listening to this And if the only mission of my life was to pay my bills, I might as well die right now. Because this is unacceptable. You've just added me into the world to pay a corporate's revenue. Are you kidding me? No, this was not the goal. Next lie. No one gives a damn. That might actually sound like truth to you right now, okay? Because, again, a hardwire. When you're growing up, don't tell your name to strangers. Don't. Don't tell where you live to strangers. When you're growing up more, nobody cares about you. It's only your parents. Ghar ke bahar, you're just like, people are out to get you. Media is the worst thing. I mean, the amount of, rape is an issue, I understand, but the fact that I can go out means it's not that bad, guys. It's not that bad. It's not like Delhi has some really bad men and everybody's bad and people will rape you the moment you're out of your house or will murder you or will, kidnap you. No. No, it's not true. Media only talks about bad news. Where is the good news? Where is it? Are you telling me there is no good news? That's not possible. You're sane, you're sitting right now, you're not thinking about problems. That means good news, right? So, I'll give you now, what made me change this kind of, what made me uncover this truth and think that this was a lie was my own personal professional experience. We started crowdfunding and everyone told us, Indians are stingy, Indians are bad, they don't give two hoots about what you want to do, they will not support you. And because I was someone who didn't believe the first lie, which was, everyone is right and I'm wrong, and I had not let anybody take away my confidence. I said, sure, I will go and find it out myself. If people are bad, okay, fine. Let me prove that at least, okay? And we started. And people funded crazy ideas that are not even bleeding social causes. Ideas like a musician wanting to make his music album. Ideas like two grad students wanting to make a book. Two painters wanting to start a street installation. These kind of things. People paid money for it. Something unfathomable. And why? Because they connected with the idea. And I'm not saying this, these are actually answers that the funders have given. So there was a book called Menstrupedia. I don't know how many of you have heard this, but there were two NID students from, they wanted to make a book on menstruation. They wanted to tell girls in a more interesting and a comical way this whole thing about menstruation. And they made a comic book out of it, and people funded it, and 40% men funded it. And we asked why. And they said that I have two sisters. I can totally imagine the kind of, misinformation that is there in the world about periods. So I funded it. There was a musician who raised money for her album, and we asked one of the funders who did not know her, now, why did you fund? You probably don't even follow her music so much. You just came across the campaign. And he said, her video was so interesting, she just deserved a shot. People give money. People help when you ask. And this was the biggest learning. When we were told that Indians don't give, what we figured out was Indians don't ask. Asking puts you somewhere in your head in a position of vulnerability and that somebody else now is, has some power over you. That's bullshit. Ask and you will get. Simple. So yes, people give a shit. They want to help you. You just need to ask them. They're not going to sit and dream, acha, today let me make a list of 10 people who I will help. No. People will come to me, I will help them. Next lie. Don't dream so big. You're not a millionaire's son or daughter. Okay? We all know the son of Rajiv Gandhi. We all know who else? The son of Pataudi, Saif Ali Khan. We all know about Salman Khan's, Shah Rukh Khan's son. We all know their names, okay? Do you guys know Steve Jobs' son's name? Do you know Bill Gates' son's name? You don't. The reason is because they are not sitting in line for the legacy. They will do something else. But you still choose to believe this lie because you want to look at Rahul Gandhi. You don't want to look at Steve Jobs' son's name who you don't know about. Your mind is giving you excuses. You say that only a actor's son can become an actor, and only a politician's son can become a politician, and only an economist's daughter can become an economist. No, that's bullshit. It doesn't work like that. You don't need resources, money, connections, blah, blah, blah. You don't need resources. You need to be resourceful. That is what you need. And closer home examples. Our prime minister was a chai wala. Our ex-president, Mr. Kalam, used to sell newspapers. How did they become presidents and you guys are not becoming presidents? Why? Because he was resourceful and you're not. Because of this lie that you're told every day, don't dream so big, kuch nahi hoga. So all these lies that have been told to you day and day again in your formative years, when you are impressionable, when you are, just you believe your elders just blindly. These are the things they're telling you. They're brainwashing you to not follow your dreams. So any amount of Mary Combs, Steve Jobs, Anshulika Dubey, any amount of these stories are not going to motivate you, my friends. It's because of these lies, because you're hardwired. You need to look deep within yourself, break these lies one by one by one by one. It will be very difficult. Your dad and mom are going to say you don't care about us. You only want to live for yourself. All these things they will tell you. So it's going to be very hard. Half the people in this room will never get over these lies. That's the fact. So yes, I'm just going to leave you with these lies, ask you to think within yourself, break the lies if you can. If you can't, sorry. Nothing can happen then. Thank you.